I was going to shave before this, but I'm lazy. So this is what you're getting. Hey there, Internet Best Buddies, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm Ray, and today we're going to be looking at the Netflix original movie, The Discovery. So since it's a Netflix original movie, you can literally go after this review and watch it for yourself. The only money you're going to have to spend is on your electric, and your internet, and your Netflix stream, and whatever box you use to stream your Netflix, and also a TV. So if you've done all those expenses, then you're good to go. Now before I begin going over the summary of the movie, I want to emphasize that this movie has some very dark subject matter in it. Nothing super terrible, but it does deal with things like murder, death, the afterlife, and suicide. So if those are things that kind of trigger you, or you just can't handle, you may want to skip this one. I just want to give you guys a fair warning. I don't want you to go into something you're not prepared for. Also, I would suggest if you are going to watch this movie, curl up in a blanket, and have a nice little doggy with you to hold. You know, for comfort. So the story shows the societal aftermath of a scientist discovering proof that there is some form of afterlife once we die, and that we do go somewhere. This results in massive suicide numbers and a change in how we view the world. We follow the scientist's son as he returns home to visit his father and meets a woman that he feels he has some sort of connection to. So I will say the best thing about this movie is how it excellently establishes this world and the world's tone. Much like how I feel the world would be if this kind of discovery was a reality, the film does an excellent job of making this unsettling atmosphere, and the world almost feels empty and devoid of purpose. The three main leads in the film are Jason Segel, Robert Redford, and Rooney Mara. They're all really good in the film and play their parts fantastically. Aside from those three mains, there are a bunch of supporting actors, and they all do a great job as well. The movie does a great job of showing how the society has changed. Some characters refer to and see both suicide and murder as both acceptable and kind of helping the individuals. There's also a character that we find out is upset with her father and her sister because she wasn't invited to their family suicide so that they could go to the next plane together. And I thought that was a really interesting problem to have. I couldn't even imagine that kind of thought process of being the survivor and thinking that you weren't worthy enough to kill yourself with your families. It's a very strange concept. I also really enjoyed the revelation of what is really going on at the end of this movie and to see how some of our characters interact with that situation. Some elements that seemed inconsequential throughout the film and just kind of like throwaway lines or moments actually add up in a really powerful and profound way. I thought it was really good. I feel like society would have broken down a lot more than what they showed in the movie. Like, they showed a lot of infrastructure that's still in place, but it just doesn't seem like it would fit. There's also, like, this kind of counter in a lot of places, and it shows the amount of suicides that there have been, which I believe at the start of the film there are about 4 million that have occurred since the discovery was revealed. They show that counter a lot throughout the film, and I just thought that was a little unnecessary and on the nose. I understand the concept they're going for of what happens once we do die, but they do show a scene after a character does die, and it kind of feels out of place and somewhat contradictory. The music on the whole was very unsettling, and it also kind of distracted me. Now, this could be because I had a migraine during the movie. Granted, not because of the movie, it's because of genetics, so thank you, Mom. Ultimately, The Discovery was a really interesting concept that really drew me in, especially from the original trailers. I definitely enjoyed my time watching it, and I definitely think it is worth a watch. Especially since it's free on Netflix. The Discovery gets a 7 out of 10. I could go really heavy and personal with the question I want to ask, just because of the context of the film, but ultimately I really don't want to. I mean, we did just meet. Let's kind of take this slow. So since the movie revolves around death, I want to know what your favorite death scene in a movie is. Good guys or bad guys, I don't care. If someone died, let me know which one's your favorite. There's honestly so many different death scenes that to choose one would be a disservice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that my top 3 would be the death of the six-fingered man in Princess Bride, the death of... I forget his name. I'm just going to say the death of Guy Pearce in The Count of Monte Cristo. That is absolutely one of my favorite movies of all time. And also when Superman kills Zod in Man of Steel. And before any of you guys say it, it's been a few years since any of those movies has even been out. So Do you really need a spoiler warning? But yeah, let me know down in the comments what's your favorite death in a movie. If you're new to the channel, why don't you go down and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the content that I put out. If you're a returning subscriber to the channel, thanks for sticking around. It means a lot to me. Let's continue to be internet best buddies. Also, if you could, like and share the video with a buddy. Thanks again for watching, everybody. See ya.